Ever pondered how Charles Darwin, the poster boy of evolution, might have had a dark side? No? Well, buckle up, because we're about to delve into some shady territories. Now, when you think of Charles Darwin, you probably imagine the guy who came up with all those groundbreaking theories on evolution and natural selection, right? A celebrated figure indeed. But like most tales of genius, controversy lurks in the shadows. Critics argue that his writings contain some, let's say, less than enlightened views. So, are you ready to explore the other side of Darwin's leaf? You know, the one they don't teach in school. Now imagine you're reading The Descent of Man, one of Darwin's works. You're expecting some light intellectual reading, right? Well, you're in for a surprise. As you leaf through the pages of this 19th century tome, you'd find yourself stumbling upon some rather unsavory ideas. Indeed, it's a bit like finding a worm at the core of an apple. You see, Darwin had a habit of referring to non-white populations as savages. Yes, you heard it right. The man whose name is synonymous with evolution and progress casually threw around terms that would make a 21st century reader cringe. But it's not just about the language. Darwin's writings are steeped in a white supremacist ideology that was, sadly, all too common in his time. He didn't just stop at racial slurs, he went on to justify violent imperialism. In Darwin's view, the extermination of non-white races was a natural consequence of white European superiority. It's a chilling thought, isn't it? And here's the kicker. Darwin suggests that white people are more evolved, and that the gap between civilized man and apes will widen, with non-white races falling somewhere in between. It's like he was trying to plot a twisted evolutionary ladder with white Europeans at the top and non-white races somewhere down below. Now I know what you're thinking. Surely this can't be the same Darwin who's lauded for his groundbreaking theories on evolution and natural selection. The very same Darwin who's often cited as an abolitionist. Sadly, the answer is yes. The man who gave us the theory of survival of the fittest also gave us some of the most discriminatory ideas of his time. So, next time you're at a cocktail party and someone mentions Darwin, you can casually drop, "Ah yes, the guy who thought non-white races were closer to apes than humans. Pass the shrimp, please." But wait, before you go on burning your biology textbooks, let's not forget that every theory has its critics and defenders. And the Darwin debate is no exception, my friend. Enter the ring, scholars Adrian Desmond and James Moore. These two gentlemen claim that Darwin's intent was to support the abolitionist cause, not to foster racial superiority. You heard it right. They suggest that our dear Charles was a misunderstood abolitionist, using his theories as a tool to argue for the equality of all human beings. Imagine that. Darwin, the man who allegedly referred to non-white populations as savages, being an advocate for equality. Quite the plot twist, isn't it? Now let's examine their argument. According to Desmond and Moore, Darwin's references to racial hierarchy were merely reflections of the prevailing views of his time. They argue that he used his theories to challenge these views, not to reinforce them. A clever tactic, if you ask me. But here's the catch. While Desmond and Moore's interpretation is intriguing, it doesn't change the fact that Darwin's writings contain explicit references to white supremacy. And this, my friends, is where the debate gets heated. So, was Darwin a misunderstood abolitionist or a white supremacist in a naturalist's clothing? Well, that's for you to decide. So, what do you think? Share your thoughts, and hey, why not do a little digging of your own? You might be surprised at what you uncover.